Hi, everybody. I'm Tony Ventrella. It's been a long winter. Floods and windstorms and snow and ice. Well, guess what? It's over. Well, it's almost over. We got some baseball for you today. We're going to show you the game that perhaps in Mariner history is the most memorable, or one of the most memorable. It's that single-game playoff against the California Angels, October 2nd, the winner to go on and play the Yankees, the loser to pack up and go home. Let's welcome to our KIRO studios Dave Niehaus and Rick Riz, the voices of the Seattle Mariners year after year after year. Dave, you just signed a new contract. You're going to be around as long as Junior. That's good, or maybe even longer, we hope. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. It had to be, I would think, a much more fun off-season than last year. Last year, you're talking about the strike-all winner. Start with you, Dave. During the off-season, as fans came up to you, what did they want to talk about this year?
They wanted to talk about probably the game that's coming up here in a few minutes and also the Yankee series. They just wanted to talk about baseball. It was hard to go anywhere without being recognized after the tremendous success of the tape that we did. Sold over 130,000, and everybody's just pumped up about 1996. It was an incredible short off-season, I might add.
Yeah, that's for sure, because the season is starting earlier, spring training game starting early. Rick, really, last year for you was like a roller coaster, but it must be fun now.
Yeah, the timing was great to come back and work again with Dave and with Ron Fairley and Kevin Kremen, and to come back and enjoy such an exciting season with this ball club. Everybody fell in love with this team, especially in those final few weeks, and here we are 4 or 5 months after this ball game and a chance to look at it one more time. That tells you about the type of season that this ball club had last year and what it did for this entire community and the entire Pacific Northwest.
Well, it's been great. There have been a couple of trades during the offseason, as you well know, Mariner fans, and I know you were disappointed about a couple of them. Let's just get a note from Dave and Rick on that. A couple of guys went that were favorites here. Mike Flowers takes off. Tino Martinez heads to New York. Dave, what's your feeling on those trades? Are they going to balance out? The Mariners going to do okay as a result?
Well, they're hoping they're going to balance out. I hated to see Tino Martinez go. Everybody did. He was one of my favorites. He was brought up in this system to become a great star. Certainly, 1 year, 1995, he was a great star. He's got a tough thing going for him, replacing Don Mattingly in New York. He signed a nice $20 million contract, got a new daughter, had a birthday the same day on the 7th of December.
That's right.
And as far as Mike Flowers was concerned, he had a great year, a career year, got a new contract out of the Dodgers. But the two guys that we really are going to fill in those posts, I hear great things about Russ Davis. Paul Sorrento is going to take Tino's place at first base. He had 25 home runs for the Cleveland Indians in a part-time role, and Lou's going to give him a chance to hit against left-handed pitching. Who knows? I think they have replaced them very, very well.
Well, that's the key. Speaking of keys, too, Rick, obviously the starting rotation, you need to get the 4 or 5 solid guys in there. Lou says he's got more pitchers and catchers ever before at spring training. You would think that out of that should sift 5 starters. What are the chances of that happening?
Well, I think, you know, with 26 pitchers coming to camp, Lou's got some options there, but obviously I think the starting pitching is going to be stronger. I like this kid, Edwin Hurtado, who we got from the Toronto Blue Jays in the Bill Risley trade, along with Paul Menhart. Sterling Hitchcock is going to be a big addition to that starting rotation. So the starting pitching is going to be a lot better. The guys that maybe don't make it quite in that role are looking at a long or middle type role down in the bullpen, and Mike Jackson is coming back. So I think Woody, the front office staff, Lou, did a great job assembling a ball club that's going to contend again this year and even get better by the time we move into that new ballpark. So I think everybody did a great job.
As we get set now to watch one more time, like I said, one of the great games in Mariner history, I want to go one more time to Dave and Rick and get a short response from you guys as you went into that Monday afternoon ball game at the Kingdome. These two teams had done opposite things over the weekend. The M's had lost to Texas twice in a row. The Angels had swept the Oakland A's, who seemed to give up the last week of the season. That's another story. What did you expect going into that ball game, Dave?
Well, it was funny. I remember the 2 equipment trucks pulling up. One was going to leave for the airport, jump on their charter, and go to New York. If the Angels lost, they were going to jump on their charter and head for Southern California. It was game 2,955 in Mariner history, as a matter of fact. And as you begin to watch this, don't miss the first batter. That's when it was really set. Tony Phillips hits a fly ball down the right field line near the bullpen, and Tino Martinez races, makes an incredible catch.
That's right.
An incredible catch. And the place is electric, and it's electric from that moment on.
Yep.
Randy Johnson retires the first 17 Angels in a row. He has a perfect game. So I'm going to tell you something. This is really going to be fun to watch.
I guess so. And you guys were jacked up and did a great job. And we welcome everyone to the 1996 season, and we're looking forward to hearing from both of you guys again this year. We'll see you down at spring training. And for all of you out there, enjoy the ball game. October the 2nd, let's turn back the clock a little bit. The Mariners and the Angels, Mark Langston against Randy Johnson at the Kingdome. Dave and Rick with the call. Have a great time. We'll see you down at spring training.
The Kingdome is rocking. More than 50,000 people here for this ESPN baseball special, a playoff to determine the champion of the American League West. The Angels and the Mariners. They're in a flat-footed tie, 78 and 66 apiece. Hello, everyone. I'm John Miller. Now, a playoff in baseball is special. This is only the 9th time it's ever happened. And many times in the past, the playoff has made history, long remembered. The Giants and Dodgers in 51, Bobby Thompson's homer against Ralph Branca. The Red Sox and Yankees in 78, Bucky Dent going deep against Mike Torres. So you would think a lot of tension, perhaps some history here today. With me is Joe Morgan. And today, the Mariners would seem to have the advantage. They've got the big unit, Randy Johnson, probably the Cy Young winner in the American League, and they're at home. But, Joe, he is pitching on just 3 days rest.
Well, he's pitching on 3 days rest, John, but that's not a problem for Randy. He is 3-0 this season when he has had only 3 days rest. And I don't think that's a problem. But the one thing that surprised me is that the calmness of the players before the ball game. Both sides seem to be calm. Maybe they don't know what's at stake here.
All right. Now, for the Mariners, prime left-hander, Mark Langston, a former Mariner, now with the Angels, 15-game winner. He's going, but he's had a bad arm, and he's working on only 3 days rest.
Well, I think the 3 days rest may be the biggest problem for Langston. You're going to have a sore arm. If you're a starter in this league, you've got to get over 30 starts, you're going to have some stiffness in your arm. You just have to pitch through it. And I think Langston will be able to do that. I don't think he'll be able to go as long as Randy Johnson will.
And what about late in the ball games, the team's bullpen? The Mariners have a great closer, Norm Charlton, but the Angels have a great 1-2 punch, Troy Percival and Lee Smith. Maybe an advantage to the Angels, maybe not, though.
Well, I don't think there is a big advantage here. I think, first of all, Randy Johnson can go longer, so maybe he can get to Charlton, who can go the last 2 to finish. I don't think you're going to have Langston being able to go 6 or 7 innings. I think they're going to need more than Percival and Smith to win this ball game today. All
right, so we're about to get started. The Mariners are about to take the field. It's Langston, the former Mariner ace, for the Angels. And the big unit, Randy Johnson, 17-2 for Seattle before more than 50,000. We'll be right back.
There's a fine line of motor oil separating your car's engine parts that's as little as 1/1000th of an inch. But friction and heat can make motor oil become volatile and vaporize, weakening its ability to protect expensive parts. Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility, fight vaporization, and provide complete engine protection, no matter what you drive.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And now we will look for the smallest things in the universe. Have a look-see. Not so tiny. Cute. Now we're getting closer. This is teensy-weensy.
Discover the microscopically low fares of shuttle by United.
Scientifically speaking, they're inky-dinky.
Now that's a low fare.
Trees make a world of difference between sand and dirt and shaded parks for baseball, picnics, and quiet walks. Between steamy, sun-baked streets and friendly, shady neighborhoods, trees make a world of difference. Between drab and unpleasant places and Tree City, USA, where it's a pleasure to live every day. To learn about Tree City, USA, write the Arbor Day Foundation. Support Tree City, USA, and let trees make a world of difference for you.
Refuse to lose. That has been the mantra for the Seattle Mariners down the stretch, and they have not often lost. Is the batting order for the Angels against Randy Johnson. Tony Phillips at third base. Gary DeSarcina back in the lineup at shortstop. Jim Edmonds in center field. Tim Salmon in right field. Chili Davis at DH. J.T. Snow at first. Those last 4 have all had great seasons. Maybe the rookie of the year, Garrett Anderson at left field. Andy Allenson, the catcher, and Rex Hudler is at second base, batting ninth. And on the mound, this is the story. Randy Johnson, 17-2, and they are 26-3 in his 29 starts, Joe.
Yes, and he's also stopped 12 losing streaks for this ball club, and that's what he has to do today because they've lost the last 2. The one thing Johnson has to be careful of, John, is overthrowing. You have to be careful. He has a lot of adrenaline going. The fans are getting you excited. He has to be careful and not try to throw too hard early. The team that stays the calmest in the first 3 innings is the team that's going to have an advantage here today.
So here we go. For the 9th time in the history of Major League Baseball, a playoff to determine a title. First pitch foul down the right field line. And caught by Tino Martinez.
Say that Martinez is very calm here as he runs this ball down, reaches out, plucks it out of the air. Good sign for the Mariners. Anything that keeps this crowd into it is going to be an advantage for the Mariners today.
Now Gary DiSarcina will come up. DiSarcina was having an outstanding season. And then an injury which almost ended his year. He was able just to get back within the last few days. A fastball astride. But now DiSarcina is back, and the Angels the last few days have played like they did before he got hurt, winning their last 5 games to get here. Strike 2.
Well, Randy seems to be under control.
Now, in the second batter of the game, the crowd is on its feet with 2 strikes. And 97 miles an hour, and our Jugs gun with that one. But he threw it almost like what you were warning against, Joe, overthrowing.
Well, look, everyone's emotions are running high. You just have to be able to keep them in check.
1-2. 2-2.
In fact, I was a little surprised that Tony Phillips swung at the first pitch. Sometimes you want to take a look at Randy, see if he is going to overthrow. Just give him a chance to be wild, but they didn't give him a chance.
Flowers, out number 2.
Let's take a look at the defense there. You see Buhner, Griffey, Coleman in the outfield, Blauer, Soho, Cora, and Tino Martinez. In the infield, Dan Wilson behind the plate, and a big unit, Randy Johnson on the mound.
Defense for much of the year has been a problem for the Mariners, but in these last 2 to 3 weeks, even their defense has been outstanding. Jim Edmonds, the hitter, strike 1.
I think the key for the Angels is going to be how well Jim Edmonds, Garrett Anderson, and J.T. Snow handle Randy Johnson.
Too high. Jim Edmonds, 33 homers, 107 runs batted in. Salmon on deck with 34 homers, 105 batted in. Slider, strike 2.
And my reasons for bringing that up, John, is that these are the 3 left-handed hitters in the lineup that have done damage for the Angels. You figure Chili Davis and Salmon have a chance, but the left-handers are going to have to contribute something as well.
Struck him out. The bat ends up at shortstop. Randy Johnson has retired the side in order. A standing ovation for the Mariners. Griffey will be due up third. No score after a half inning.
This is Monica, and she's like our only friend who smokes.
We're trying to get her to stop.
Yeah.
We told her that smoking stinks up her hair.
She said she could fix it. Same with her breath and clothes.
Yuck.
We told her smoking made her teeth and nails yellow.
She said she could fix it.
But then we read somewhere
about
how cigarette smoke gets like into your skin and causes permanent wrinkles. So we told her. She freaked.
Totally.
Then she quit.
It was cool. Really?
Because now we don't have any friends who smoke.
Hi, I'm Jim Palmer. The Money Store has built its business by helping homeowners reestablish their credit. For over 25 years, they've specialized in helping people who are behind on their mortgage, credit cards, and other loans to establish a new budget with one loan, one payment. So if you have credit problems and own a home, call the Money Store. You can refinance your mortgage and end up with a sensible budget that works for you. Call the Money Store at 1-800-LOAN-YES. The Money Store, where America goes for money.
You could go someplace else, but you won't get IHOP pancakes.
What kind of pancakes does your restaurant serve?
The flat kind?
Only IHOP offers you the International Passport Breakfast with 2 crepe-style pancakes for just $2.99. Choose from German with lemon butter, French with orange sauce, Swedish with lingonberry butter, or 2 good old American buttermilk, plus eggs, bacon, and sausage. The one and only International Passport Breakfast at IHOP, just $2.99.
And they're round and they're flat when you make them at the table.
No score. The playoff to determine the champion of the American League's Western Division. And the home team, the Seattle Mariners, about to come to bat against their one-time ace, Mark Langston. It'll be Vince Coleman in left field, Luis Sojo at shortstop. Ken Griffey, and he's played like Griffey the last couple of weeks. Edgar Martinez, the batting champion, the DH. Jay Buhner, an incredible year, 40 home runs. Mike Flowers, 96 RBIs at third base. Gino Martinez, well over 100 RBIs. Dan Wilson, the catcher, Joey Cora at second. On the mound, Mark Langston, a 15-game winner for the Angels.
And there you see Mark Langston's number, 15 and 6. Had a pretty high earned run average, but Mark Langston throws hard, has a good breaking ball, and he is capable of shutting down these Mariners. He beat them in his only start this year, although his ball club scored 14 runs. He won 14-4.
Vince Coleman will start it off. Coleman, a switch hitter, will bat right-handed. He was sort of a missing piece to the Mariner puzzle when they were able to pick him up from the Kansas City Royals. He answered a need for them at leadoff. I mean, he's a legitimate leadoff hitter, stolen base artist, and also in left field at the same time. And he has been the igniter since they picked him up. First ball swinging. Hudler. Swing!
So far in the ballgame, John, the Mariners have done everything to excite the crowd. This is a hustling play. Hustle always excites the crowd. Look, he even makes a bad step there. I'm surprised he didn't injure himself. He reaches out, he leaps for the bag. He is safe, but that's an all-out effort that the fans will appreciate. So the things that they're doing so far are keeping the fans in the ballgame.
Now Vince Coleman is at first base, and sometimes he doesn't stay there very long. He has 42 steals for the year. They've been caught only 15 times. Here is Luis Sojo, and he's kind of come out of nowhere. Look at that batting average, 286 with 7 homers and 36 batted in. Langston, a real tough pickoff move. He's tough to get a jump against if you're a Vince Coleman.
Well, the one thing that he does do, though, Johnny, is has a pretty high leg kick. If you read him, it gives you a little more time to run. In fact, you can get a bigger lead and not commit as quickly because he has such a high leg kick. And one other thing about Vince Coleman, not only has he been good offensively, but he has also been a leader and a stabilizing influence in the clubhouse because he has been in World Series play before. He has been in postseason play.
One of only 4 Mariners who've ever been there.
That's the move right there that will have the most effect on Vince Coleman. That step off where you throw while you're stepping off. Because if once you kick your leg up, you give the runner time to get back. This is a quick move. This is the quickest way he can get the ball to first base.
Very close. Langston, in his days with the Mariners, there's the same play, and he's back again. Langston, in his days with the Mariners, he sometimes would have a week here at the Kingdome where they didn't get as many fans as they have today.
I think Vince... See, that move there will not bother Vince. And he has such a high leg kick, he should be able to read him and go to the plate. The move that will bother him is that quick step-off move. And you see Vince is actually shortening his lead to compensate for that.
And the pitch to the plate, fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike to Luis Sojo. Now the big power is coming up next. Griffey on deck, then Edgar, then Buhner, then Blowers, and Tino. 5 sluggers in a row. Griffey, sometimes you talk to guys to see if they're nervous or not.
Right.
It's almost like Griffey was born to play in this game today. The bunt. Langston got him at first.
Nice play by Langston.
Coleman has been moved over.
That's a nice play there and a good play, I think, for the Mariners. Try to jump on top. Keep these fans in the game.
Well, here's the reaction to Ken Griffey Jr. A standing ovation for Griffey. Griffey has 17 home runs for the year in only 257 at-bats. Coming back from a broken wrist, which it was sort of astonishing that he was able to come back from that this year. In the last couple of weeks, he's been hitting like the Griffey that you remember, the healthy Griffey. The shortstop taking the throw there, that's DiSarcina.
And to go back to what you were talking about, his personality, born to play in these games, I was talking to him before the game, and I said, well, how do you hit Langston? Because the statistics sometimes do not tell the true story. You may have some hits, but you didn't feel comfortable. Or you may not have hits and you did feel comfortable. So I asked him, and he said, I don't even know. He said, but he's got to throw strikes today. I mean, that's a great attitude to have in a game like this.
One out, runner at second. Last of the first, no score. There's the breaking ball, very high. On deck is the league batting champion. You see, Griffey has held his own against Langston, but Langston could say the same thing.
Exactly. So that's probably why he said, hey, I don't remember. It means that he's nothing outstanding and nothing very poor.
Pickoff, developing, but not coming to fruition with DiSarcina again cutting in behind Coleman.
And the reason that they're trying to keep Coleman so close is because it's very easy to steal third base off of a left-handed pitcher, especially one with the high leg kick like Langston. You can get a running start and you can get a bigger lead from second base.
The outfield is deep and straight away for Griffey. Down the right field line, but foul. Deep down the line, home run distance, but very much foul.
That was an interesting pitch there, John, because Langston was still looking at Coleman at second base when he started his motion to the plate, meaning he didn't pick up his target quick enough and he hung that slider inside.
1 ball, 1 strike. Coleman is running. And he is out at third.
Well, that's why they were trying to keep him close. The only bad thing about the situation he was stealing in is that you have a left-handed hitter up at the plate, so the catcher, Allison, has a clear shot at third and he can see you all the way. I think it's a good play to try to steal third, but you have to make sure that you can make it. Very close play there. Very close play. Watch Coleman's left hand. Very close, but he's out.
Greg Cost, the third base umpire, making the call, so 2 down and nobody on now. 2-1, the count to Griffey from the windup Langston. 3-1. Well, I saw Tony Phillips put his leg in front of the corner of the bag. Right. And I think Cost spotted, although we could see clearly in the replay
that he did get in.
He had lifted the leg up and he had gotten in.
The only bad thing about the play.
3-1, and full count now, 3-2.
The only bad thing about that play, John, is what that does now is takes away a little bit of Vince Coleman's aggressiveness. You know, you do not want to get caught stealing again in this ball game. So he may not be quite as aggressive the next time he's on base as he was at this particular time.
2 down, 3-2 to Griffey. And he draws the walk on the check swing. The appeal denied by Cost. So the Mariners get another base runner with 2 down. And here's the league's batting champion for the second time in 4 years, Edgar Martinez. And a solid MVP candidate, I might add. Look at that slugging percentage. He doesn't just hit singles to right. This guy, 29 homers, 52 doubles. He has walked 115 times. So he knocks in runs, he hits extra base hits, and he's always on base for the guys behind him to drive in. And he has also had great success against Langston.
I don't think there would be any left-hander that he doesn't handle well.
Ball 1.
And the reason for that is because he stays into the middle of the diamond. Most right-handers that handle left-handed pitching well will hit a lot of balls to right center, left center. They'll stay back through the middle of the diamond, and that's where he hits.
For Puerto Rico, a very disciplined hitter. He says he learned that discipline from his grandfather.
And the timeout is because Griffey's over at first base trying to clear some dirt. They had a football game here yesterday, and I think the dirt at first base is a little soft because we saw Coleman doing a lot of work over there.
Ball 1 to Edgar Martinez with Jay Buhner on deck. Ball 2, I beg your pardon. 2-0 to Edgar. And again, if you don't throw him a strike, he's not likely to swing. And if you walk him, Jay Buhner's got 40 home runs lurking in the on-deck circle. Too high. 3-0. Edgar looks down to Sam Perlazo as Jay Buhner gets ready for his at-bat, his possible at-bat on deck.
He does have 29 home runs. Yes.
Edgar, and a base hit. On a 3-0 pitch, Griffey stops at second, and Edgar gets his base hit. And here comes Buhner, the big home run hitter for the Mariners. .40 home runs in 466 at-bats. That's better than one homer for every 12 times up.
Well, John, letting him hit 3-0, which I thought he might do because he does have 29 home runs, you turn him loose in this situation. Plus, it also establishes in the player's mind, we're going to be aggressive today. That's what Lou Piniella was telling him.
Ball 1. Jay Buhner in 33 official at-bats against Langston in his career has struck out 17 times.
And remember, Lou Piniella has played in these one-game playoffs, so he knows what it's all about. And I think he wants to be very aggressive early.
2 men on, 1 man out. Langston has only retired 1 hitter. He got him chasing that low slider. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. The only man who retired was Soho, who bunted. He was willing to make it out. Giving up a single to Coleman, a walk to Griffey, and a single to Edgar Martinez. That the caught stealing right now is the key play of the inning. Marcel Latchman, he well knows that it doesn't get easier after Buhner. The man on deck has 96 RBIs this year. Mike Bowers.
And a lot of grand slams.
Oh, man. And the breaking ball, strike 2 call.
That was a clutch pitch right there because if he misses with that pitch, he's in real trouble. Then it's 3-1. He has to give Buhner a pitch to hit. He got the breaking ball on the inside corner for strike 2.
So breaking ball again?
I think he wants to get him out with a breaking ball, yes. But I don't know how he thinks.
The high fastball, full count.
Now I think you'll see a breaking ball.
Flowers would be next. 2 on, 2 out, and again, the huge crowd rises to its feet in unison at the Kingdom. The runners go. The slider. Phillips to Snow, and the threat is over. Langston has survived the first. Tim Salmon, Chili Davis, and J.T. Snow. Some Angels power coming up. No score after 1.
It's all on sale now at your Home Life Furniture store. Save on every piece of furniture and bedding, from living rooms to dining rooms to mattresses. Use your Sears card and save an extra 10% and get 0% finance charge till May. Look for special feature items like this Bayberry sofa, love seat, and chair, or a Topeka casual dining set with 2 free armchairs. So hurry in before Monday. The Home Life Furniture store from Sears. It's everything you need to bring your home to life.
So what's it gonna... Hey, it's you!
How observant.
I'm a big fan.
Really?
Yeah, I just love your Diamond Minute race.
Oh, well, actually, that's Sprint's Diamond Minute race.
Don't be so modest. It's great.
And it's good forever. You know how I count out my tips now? I take the dimes and I go 1 minute, 2 minutes.
That's nice. I'll have the soup.
Hey, Rocco! Look, it's the dime lady!
Oh, boy. Sprint's really started something.
Call now and get 10 cents a minute across the U.S. and now even to Canada. This is only a test of your car's braking system. If this had been an actual braking emergency, you would have been instructed to go to the Midas International Brake Sale immediately. Because right now, Midas is taking $20 off any brake service. For any car, import or American. Guaranteed for as long as you own your car. But hurry, this offer ends soon. We know the importance of having sound brakes. That's the Midas way, the way it should be. This concludes this test of our emergency braking system.